Fast X, the newest installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise, nay, saga, is now out and in theaters. I saw it, did my out-of-theater reaction. A long story short, it's a truly mess of a movie that if you made up a list of all the things you can do to make a movie horrible, they did it. Yet at the same time, they included some really good stuff with their action, their fight sequences, and Jason Momoa is a great villain. So, hey, you may like it, you may not. But one of the stories going into Fast X was the declining popularity. There were reports coming out about the early projections for the box office suggesting it could be one of the lower opening weekends for the Fast and Furious franchise. And indeed, it did end up being one of the lower ones they've ever had, at least domestically. But there's really two stories here about the opening week for Fast and Furious. There's the domestic box office, and then there's internationally. And that is highlighted in this Hollywood Reporter report that said the following. Universal's Fast X raced to a North American debut of $67.5 million and a rousing $318.9 million globally as the core franchise winds down. That's a promising start for the 10th installment, even if the movie is seeing lower returns in the United States. Things are different overseas, where Fast X cleared a huge $251.4 million in its international debut. Its global opening makes it the #2 debut of the year behind fellow Universal's The Super Mario Brothers movie that had a $377 million opening internationally. Internationally is the top opening of 2023 so far. All right, so what we have here are two separate stories, a dichotomy, if you will. A Jekyll and Hyde. Fast X, how did it do? Well, it depends on how you look at it. First, let's look at its official opening weekend. Now, at $67.5 million for its opening weekend, that's the official domestic, and domestic is what you measure when talking about opening weekend. And the reason why we only really talk about domestic numbers in opening weekend is because worldwide, every movie opens in different markets and a different number of markets at different times around the world. So you can't really compare them. It's not apples to apples. Whereas the domestic box office, it's all the same. Domestically, the film opened to 67 point some odd million dollars. And that, unfortunately, for Fast and Furious, makes it the lowest opening weekend in the franchise since 2006. Now, take a look at this. Down there at the bottom, Tokyo Drift, which came out in 2006, was the lowest box office opening for any Fast and Furious franchise. That was $23.9 million. And that no film at 67 point something, that puts it behind F9, that came out in 2021, puts it behind 2009's Fast and the Furious, puts it behind Fast 5 from 2011, puts it behind 2013's Fast and Furious 6, puts it behind 2017's The Fate of the Furious, and behind 2015's Furious 7. So no Fast and the Furious movie has ever had a domestic box office opening lower than Fast X since 2006. That's not a good sign. But on the other hand, worldwide, at least internationally, it had a $257 million opening, and that's quite solid. That's a really good number. So it's two different stories, really disappointing on one, really solid on the other. So now the question will become, what kind of legs is this movie going to have? My guess is it's not going to have great legs. I don't think we're going to see a lot of return business for Fast X. I mean, the critic reviews are one thing, but also, I mean, here around the channel, we've been hearing from a lot of people that are like, yeah, it was all right. It was all right. And that's kind of my feeling too. Like, I thought it's a mess of a movie, but I had a lot of fun. By the way, did you know that car doors stop all bullets? I don't know if you knew that. Vin Diesel clearly knows that, especially helicopter gunship bullets. Car doors absolutely stops them, no problem. Kind of like Chris Hemsworth ducking behind the ladder in that Extraction 2 trailer. Anyway, that's not the point. The point here is I don't know if it's going to have great legs. Now, I think at this point, it might be safe to say that Fast X may beat out Fast 9's overall box office, which was in the 700 millions. I don't know if it'll get to the $1 billion mark, but listen, international audiences could surprise us. We could see the demise of the Fast franchise domestically happening here, but maybe it'll just take off and explode even further with its, what do they call the fuel that they hit? They throw the switch?
Nitro.
Nitro?
Yeah.
Hit the nitro button and boom, nitrous away you go.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's Popeye's spinach for your car. And it'll make, hey, did you know that if you just spin your wheels fast enough, you can pull down helicopters? Fast and the Furious taught me that. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know that ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been saving almost 70% a month over my old phone plan. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, guys, the question is for you here. With Fast and Furious opening week, we are seeing two very different stories. On the one hand, you have the domestic box office, which is clearly in decline, the lowest opening they've ever had since 2006. Internationally, however, quite a strong reception. Can that hold out? Will the international box office, do you think, continue to carry this movie to having a really good, solid box office return when it's all said and done? Do you think it might follow the domestic lead, and will we see drastic reductions in its second weekend numbers? How do you think that's going to turn out? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and check out our daily podcast, the John Campea Show podcast, available on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. And also, make sure you subscribe to our John Campea daily newsletter. You'll find the links down in the description of this video.